I'm sure you've heard of the concept of being present and that it's something to strive for, but today I'm illuminating the reasons this doesn't have to be hard and why it's so worth your effort. Being present is a concept that dates back to the early Roman times. Dionysius, who was a Roman philosopher, popularized it through his teachings, and seekers of peace have been striving to perfect the pursuit of presence ever since. Let's start by talking about why this state of being present is so advantageous. Everything we're able to experience is in the present moment. Now, you can dwell on memories or dream of the future, but none of that's real. The only real experience is in the present moment. And as soon as you've experienced it, it becomes a memory. This is why you may have heard the expression, all we have is now. It's reminding us that now is all that's real. Some people lose decades or even lifetimes dwelling in the past or future, and they never enjoy the real peace and beauty of what's in their current experience. Now, I know what you may be thinking. Well, what if I'm not doing anything? Or what if I'm having an unpleasant experience? Understand that you don't have to be engaged in doing anything. You can be, but it's not a requirement. All you need to do to be present is to bring your attention to the present moment. It may help to focus on your breath or your five senses. You can really tune in to what you're seeing, hearing, smelling, and so on. Those times when you're not active can be the most peaceful to enjoy. You can just notice your breath and be present. If you're having an unpleasant experience, I remind you that unpleasant is an interpretation. In most situations, you'll be able to find something pleasant or at least neutral that you can focus your attention on. As an example, if you're struggling to converse with someone who you don't like, you could just focus on the pattern of the words being spoken rather than the person speaking. Or you could focus on the environment you're working in rather than an assignment that you don't enjoy. Point is that even in the most unpleasant situations, if you're present and you guard against unhelpful interpretations that you might make about the situation, you're going to make the most out of being there. I have 3 tips to make the being present concept easy for you to practice. Tip number 1, you're going to want to set reminders for yourself often, and every time that you're reminded, bring your attention to the current moment and try to hold your attention there for just a bit longer each time. Tip number 2, don't beat yourself up when you struggle, because this is hard for most people. It wouldn't have been 40 years ago, but unfortunately, our technology has created a habit that causes us to want to keep our minds busy. Tip number 3 is to keep practicing, and you'll quickly notice that it gets easier. You're building a skill, and like any skill, the more you practice, the easier it will become. I'd like to wrap up this conversation by reiterating all of the reasons this practice is going to be worth your effort. First, you'll feel more at peace and experience a reduction in stress or worry. As you build the habit, you'll also notice yourself being triggered less. This is because triggers are just from interpretations we make, and as you practice being present, there's no need for them. And it becomes easier to just allow others to have their experience and not get upset over their words or actions. This allows you to raise your emotional intelligence and become more influential and impactful in your interactions with others. And finally, I want to stress that like all skills, building a presence habit is a journey. You could become very skilled at it and then not practice for a while, and those skills will backslide. But of course, you'll miss all of the benefits that being present brings, so you won't want to let this habit slip. Be sure to hit subscribe to receive notifications on future trainings, and I'll see you on the next video.